Hey everyone, it's Renee, and I am not in my kitchen today as usual showing hacks, but I wanted to talk about something a little more personal and not quite as fun, but very important to our health. And yes, I'm a health and fitness coach, and I like to be in the kitchen showing you how to keep your middle in check and to keep, hey Jenny, hacks for your family and such. But today I want to share with you something about May is almost over, and it's crazy, but it's Melanoma Awareness Month. And skin cancer is one of those things that we don't think about because it touches other people, or we'll worry about that when we're older. But oh my gosh, the sun is finally out, and it's May 31st, and I'm going to go get a tan. I want to talk to you a little bit about your body, yourself, and just being aware. Like, we all have things that inspire us, and this is just a platform, a way for me to share a story and share some tips. Now, I want you, and this is going to sound crazy, to know your body. Like, when you're getting a cold and you kind of feel it, like you just don't feel right, but you don't know necessarily when you might be getting skin cancer. A lot of times we think, oh, well, she tanned in tanning beds all her life, or she always has those tans. That's not me. I'm not going to be one of those people. Well, y'all, I wear shoes and socks like 24/7. Always in socks. After the birth of my second child, I wear socks at bedtime, which is weird. Clean socks. I rotate. I'm Mr. Rogers of socks and shoes. I always have clean shoes and socks on. So when I went to a dermatologist about a mole on the bottom of my foot, he's like, that's got to go. I was like, that's so weird because, this part of my body never sees sun. And he asked me, hey, Stacey, he asked me, if it had changed after pregnancy at all. And the one I had my whole life, but he didn't like how it looked. And then, so he took it and it cut it off, and there was like an incision on the bottom of my foot on the arch. No lie. And he's like, no running for 2 weeks. And I was like, okay. I could not walk on it for 3 weeks. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I came back for another check, and then he checked the other foot. And if you just split my body down the middle, this other one reappeared on the bottom of my foot. It was really a tiny pin dot, and then it was like a normal one. And he said, when did you get this one? And I was like, because I'd had another kid, and he's like, we need to take that one off. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, because the first one was so bad. Because there's not a lot of circulation in your feet, and he's like, it's better to get that when you're younger, because when you're older, it's just not going to go so well. So I took the other one off the bottom of my foot, and I was like, okay, score, we're done. Did that, been there. So I would go back every 6 months or so, and, so now I'm really mindful of my moles and where they are, and he had suggested an app. I'm not going to tell you the name of it because he doesn't suggest that one anymore. And so I don't know if there is one, but I'm asking you, do you use an app to keep track of your moles? He actually suggested just with a camera and good old-fashioned, documenting that way. But, so I went back my last check, there was this tiny one on my leg, and he looked at it and he's like, I'd like to take that one. I was like, seriously? Are you trying to buy a new boat? Really? You just, need to start cutting into me? And I was like, no, this one looks so normal. It was just like this tiny little pin dot. It didn't follow the ABCD thing, the asymmetry, border, color, diameter, which you need to, have in your mind as you gauge what's going on. And I was like, no, that one's fine. And he's like, if you were my daughter, I'd have you take it off. I was like, well, there's the guilt trip. So we cut into that one. And the report back on that one came back bad too. And I'm like, ah. So now I go back every 6 months and we check things over, and it's the littlest ones that don't seem to think that they'd be a problem that end up coming back as problems. So just because things don't follow the ABCD thing, or just because it doesn't look like, that one's the bad one, doesn't mean that there can't be problems. So I know it's hard to get into specialists because it's always like, well, you need a referral, and then you wait 6 months. My guy's really hard to get into. But it's been so worth it. I have some really ugly looking moles. They're fine. Completely normal. He doesn't even care about them. It's the ones that are changing and that are new. And if you're a female and if you've had any children, he says basically a pregnancy is like an attack on your immune system, and he doesn't know why. But things really can change and go sour after that. So just if anything comes of this goofy video of me, I just want you to know that you need to start keeping track of things and share this with your friends. And if you have an app that you use or tips that you have, share below, because we're all in this together. I actually bought this really goofy hat with a string for when I mow, because I needed to have a string because it gets so blasted windy here. So I have to have a string and you cinch it up. And I wore it when we were hiking, and my husband was like, "You are such an embarrassment." I'm like, at least I'm safe. So when I mow grass, long sleeves, jeans, the whole 9 yards, and it's baseball season, so I started with the sunscreen. Lots of sunscreen, people. Put it in your cars, in your bags, and yeah, not every sunscreen is created equal. I feel like Mini Pearl with this thing hanging here. Not all sunscreens are created equal, so if you have a brand that you like, drop it below, because I'm all about name brand dropping right now, because this is all about us. So I want you to be smart, be safe, share this with others, pass it along. May's not over. So have a great May. Happy June, everyone!